Hello and welcome on board the Crowdfunded Kit. So the most common question I get from people is how to make sure that my crowdfunding campaign is a successful one. And that's what this course is really all about. It's about helping you to save time, launch faster, and make big bucks from your crowdfunding campaign. And most importantly, of course, to enjoy this whole process. So let's start off this presentation with a question. What do startups, companies, and yes, even the potato salad campaign have in common? For those of you who do not know, potato salad was a Kickstarter project that was meant to be a joke, but it became a joke that made over $55,000. So, the answer is this. A company, startup, or even a crowdfunding campaign are all made up of real people. But without people, they are just lifeless entities. But what gives them life is the people behind it. And this is a very, very important concept for you to know because crowdfunding is about people investing money into other people. More specifically, they're investing into your dreams and ideas for the next big thing. And they want to be a part of this journey too. This is important to know because that will affect the way you pitch and build your campaign. I can't begin to tell you stories of campaigns that are out there that treat crowdfunding campaigns just as another e-commerce site. There's no human connection and everything about the campaign is just plain salesy. So you must maintain the human connection if you are setting out with a crowdfunding campaign. The next thing I want to say is this. Crowdfunding is more like running a marathon. Just in case you go wow at all those campaigns that raise hundreds or even millions of dollars, know that it takes a lot of effort before they even launched. They had to do lots of research, prototyping, and marketing to get the word out. And for those who met their funding target, the real marathon actually begins after the campaign ends. And from there on, it's a mad race against time to deliver your goods. So crowdfunding is definitely not for the lazy people. The next thing I want to say about crowdfunding is that it's not about getting rich quick. You don't just put up a crowdfunding campaign and expect the money to roll in automatically. As they say, cash doesn't drop down from the sky. But it's an unfortunate reality because I've worked with clients before who have had tremendous success with their previous products. And then now they are rolling out a new product and they put it on Kickstarter, post a couple of Facebook updates, and they complain why they don't see a single dollar in. The truth of the matter is this, crowdfunding is not a get rich quick scheme. So just before we carry on, a little bit about me. In case you didn't know, I'm Jonathan and I live in Singapore. I'm also the author of the Crowdfunded Kit, which is a companion book to this course that you can also purchase if you wish. My university degree was originally in business IT, but I chose to make a living online instead. I've lived before in Israel for 6 months, dodging missiles and camels. And my time there got me inspired to take up an entrepreneurial career. I had my start at ProTech, a tech startup that makes Bluetooth devices, which I will share with you more. And of course, people say that I look 20, but really, in reality, I'm 27 years old. No kidding you. Allow me to share with you my crowdfunding journey. Well, it all began in the class in 2013. I was taking a module on IT and business innovation at the Singapore Management University. So what happened was my professor did a case study on ProTech. Okay, so I instantly bought into the inspiring vision that ProTech's founder, Rick Tan, had about making devices that stop people from losing their own personal valuables. So 1 week after the last university exam of my life, I showed up at ProTech's doorstep. I talked to Rick a bit, and almost instantly I was hired on the spot to be the vice president of marketing for their line of products. And ProTech makes loss prevention solutions, and one of it is called the Duet, which I will explain to you in a while's time. So the very first assignment that Rick bombed me was this. Hey John, can you be in charge of the crowdfunding campaign for the Duet? Now, the Duet was a Bluetooth invention that could alert you if you had accidentally left your phone behind. So if you move more than 10 meters away from a phone, the Duet would beep and sound off a loud buzzer. Now you must know that I was only a fresh university graduate and I started out with zero marketing experience. And I had much less, totally no idea how to even run a crowdfunding campaign at all. So the natural thing for anyone in my scenario is to panic. Well, the good news is, fast forward 6 months later, and after nothing short of a miracle, we had raised $106,813 for our duet campaign. Okay, we were 2,137% funded past our initial $5,000 goal. It was a modest goal because we did not know what to set, and it was just a random number that we put out. But I learned so much about running a crowdfunding campaign through this experience with so little time during those months, and it paid off well. But then there was an entrepreneurial itch in me to scratch. I still remember spending perhaps over just 3 weeks reading about crowdfunding on Google every single day. I remember poring through hundreds of blogs, articles, and PDFs in order to come up with that first product launch plan for the duet. It was really frustrating because I couldn't find a simple step-by-step course available online that could teach me all I needed to know about putting together a crowdfunding campaign. But what was worse was that the information I learned and that I gathered came from a wide variety of scattered resources all over the internet. And it was frustrating, and I didn't want other people to suffer the same fate as I did starting out with crowdfunding. So I resigned from my job at ProTech and started offering to help other people all over the world to get started with their crowdfunding campaigns. I did this by putting up offers online just to help people. And to date, I've helped over 20 clients launch better crowdfunding campaigns. And these faces that you see here on the screen are just some of the clients that I've worked with. And I have many more to come. So, why teach this course? Through the course of helping other people with their campaigns, the most common question that I get asked by crowdfunders is this. Hey, I read up on Google about crowdfunding, and I've seen this article about 100 steps, for you to take to launch your crowdfunding campaign. But still, John, I'm not sure how or where to begin. Well, to me, this is very ironic behavior because these people have probably already read so much information that they have it inside their heads and they know what to do. After all, they have read enough, right? But as I dug deeper and deeper, and I asked more questions, I realized that they didn't need more information. What I found these crowdfunders needed was assurance. Yes, they wanted assurance. They wanted someone who's been there, done that, to assure them that they are on the right track, that their crowdfunding campaign is worth the risk they took, because they wanted their campaign to succeed. Because most of them fear this F word, failure, Failure. And failure in crowdfunding is very real, because about 60% of campaigns do not meet their funding goals. Of these 60% of projects, 66 of them can't even hit 20% of their funding goals, and this comes from PC World magazine. But I sincerely believe that we can turn the tide around and see more crowdfunding success stories. I believe many projects out there deserve to be overfunded, just like this campaign. But sadly, they don't. Want to know why? It's because it's due to the lack of a good pre-launch strategy. Many campaigns launch without properly planning this aspect, and it's a major factor why they don't even hit their funding goals. So if I could really simplify pre-launch strategy, at the heart of it, it's really about building and connecting with your community before the money comes in. And back to the success story of the duet. I'm glad really that our campaign was a big success. But know this, we had a plan, and know that we also worked our butts off over a span of 5 months to make it successful. And here's some proof of the community building efforts we did. We built up a community of over 17,000 people on our Facebook page, and our campaign saw over 88,000 visits, all because we had a deliberate pre-launch strategy. The good news is that you'll get to use the same strategy and tools throughout this course, and you can apply it to your own campaign. So in a nutshell, this is what you can expect when you are running a crowdfunding campaign for the first time. There are 5 phases to it, and the first one involves planning and research. This is the most important step because you have to find out who you are selling to and what value your product offers. Then the next phase comes in, the building phase. This is the phase where you spend time building up your project, and that includes doing up your video, planning your reward perks, and also building up your campaign pitch. This is also the time for you to get feedback from people about your project and to improve it. Then the next part comes in, which is the most important part I feel that many crowdfunding campaigns get it wrong, and that's the pre-launch marketing aspect. This is the stage that will determine whether or not your project can take off the ground in the first few days of your campaign. The amount of effort you put in here to build up buzz and an interested audience around your project will have a big impact when you eventually launch. And the fourth thing is the actual launch itself. And this is where your crowdfunding campaign goes live on Kickstarter or Indiegogo or any other crowdfunding site. This is the time to go about your personal networks, your emails, your email list, your social media networks, and also using PR to promote your campaign. Shamelessly promote your campaign at this part and try to get as much traffic as you can. And last but not least, you have to measure and evaluate how well your campaign is doing. How to do this is using analytic tools to measure traffic and conversions into pledges. A good crowdfunding campaign typically converts between 3 to 5%. So if there's one more piece of advice that I want to leave you, is to have the wisdom to learn from the experiences of other campaigns. Spend time learning from the successful as well as the unsuccessful ones. Throughout the duration of this course, I'll also share with you some tips and pitfalls to avoid, but still nothing beats learning from other campaigns on your own and doing your own due diligence. As Otto von Bismarck, a famous Russian general, said, "Fools say that they learn by experience. I prefer to profit from others' experience." And that's it. I hope this helps you to see an overview about how to make your crowdfunding campaign a successful one. Please leave me comments or email me if you have any questions at johnliaokl@gmail.com about how else I can help you improve your crowdfunding campaign. I hope that helps you. Take care and thanks for listening. Good luck.